Most High in Christ. We pray that everyone is blessed out there, Israelites. Well, we want to take every opportunity to shine light on our responsibility to our nation, to identify ourselves, and to gather together as one people. Well, we look at the condition of the world today and we say, what does that matter? Uh, what does that matter who we are right now? We are being occupied. We are being, we're in captivity. We're prisoners of war. Well, I tell you what, regardless of your philosophy, the Bible says Hosea saw us gathered together away from America, not out of America, but not participating with them anymore. With they're helping them to keep us captive. We are helping them right now to keep us in captivity. And they're pretending that we're not in captivity and that we're free here in America, but all signs and evidence point that they have us locked and captured in a system of slavery, right? They're occupying our land and they're claiming to be sovereign over us when we, regardless of what the Israelite camps say, we are sovereign wherever we are. Israelites are supposed to be sovereign wherever we are. They're saying we are so, since we're still in slavery, we just go by their wicked laws and we act like slaves. That's what the Israelite camps want us to do. But we'll never gather together. My purpose is I'm trying to move toward what uh, God's plan for us to be free and to stop catering to America and stop helping them to hold us in captivity based on how we think. We are in captivity based on how we think. So what I'm trying to do is change the thinking, help you to change your thinking because we're locked in. Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go there. Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress the poor and righteous man. Let us not spare the widow nor reverence the ancient gray hair of of the aged, of the old. Let our strength, this is it right here. We see this is the wicked. This is the wicked talking. And this is the wicked nations. Verse 10 is talking about what the wicked nation, the nation who's identified as the wicked, the border of wickedness. We know this is not Israelites, because Israelites have no power to be racist or to oppress anybody as a nation, any nation. So we know whoever said, "Well, that's what this was written to Israelites." This is three. This is manyfold here. This is manyfold. This is us in captivity of the nations, right? The wicked nations, which we know Edomite rule the worlds, whether it's in Germany, Russia, China, who they call Moab, and Ammon, Japanese, all the Oriental people are Edomites. All the nations that have governments over them down in the Caribbean, down south in America, European, NATO, the 10 nations, all of those people are Edomites. I don't care what y'all say. All the government in Puerto Rico, all the government and where the United States set their delegates up and set their regimes up, set the people in government. United States, the United States so-called corporations set everybody in place who they want to rule in every land, who they call allies, right? And everybody on the earth who are in government are Edomites. The Edomites are in power and they run the world today. Esau is the end of that, end of the world. Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world. Second Ezra, right? Esau is the end of the world. Stop saying these people are in South America running government, in the tourist spots, and when the people you see running all these governments in Brazil and all of that, Cuba and all that, those are Edomites. Esau is the end of the world. Those are not Israelites running these governments. Okay, I get that. That irks me. Okay, so right here. Let our strength be, verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice. So their strength, it can't say let our strength be the law of justice. It can't mean, let me just stop. Let our strength is saying, how can we, verse 10, it said we're going to do this to these people. Now, these people are more powerful than the wicked. The Israelites are more powerful. We are stronger. We are God's chosen people. So verse 11 is they're addressing a unspoken issue. How can we do this to these people? That'd be the next question in their crafty counsel. How can we do this? They're stronger than us, and they have God on their side. And if they start keeping the law, they're going to demolish us. God's going to give them strength to demolish us. Those are the thoughts of the wicked. When they're they're planning to attack us, they have to address all the issues. So they're saying, let our strength be. What is going to be our strength? What is going to be our power? This time they didn't have drones and nukes and missiles and all of that. So they're saying, what will be our strength? Let our strength be the law of justice. Let's make laws and say it's just. What makes laws just? They have to address that issue. What makes the law just? The Most High God. So they're going to claim that their laws are the laws of the land that God told us to obey. They're trying to capture us and keep us in captivity, right? And be able to torture us and hold the government of the world in their hands. They have to convince us that God put us in this position of slavery, and He will never let us go. As long as they have these laws in place, we'll always obey the law because we think that we are protected by God when we keep the laws of the land. God will stop us from being destroyed if we just obey His laws that has us in place, that's protected. We think we're protected if we keep the law. They won't just annihilate us. And now the Most High is showing us that these people have craftfully designed these laws to fool us, to make us think that the Most High ordained these laws, their laws that they have for us, taking over the streets, eminent domain, make new laws whenever they get ready to hold us in captivity. And I'm going to show you in this video why Trump and the Republicans and the Democrat are all working together against us. Let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble, they call us feeble. They call us a that. What does that, when somebody say that, what does that mean? It's not a living person. That which is feeble. We're not people. We're not a people. Then the Bible, then where was that at? My people who are not a people, they are not a people. Then God said, we are not a people. So they're using the terminology that God called us, that God used for us when we turned our back on Him and start worshiping their idols and worshiping, acting like the devils. For that, not a people, which is feeble-minded, is found to be worth nothing. They say in that, not a people, not a living thing, not a living human, is found to be feeble-minded, and we are worth nothing, right? We are worth nothing to nobody. Jeremiah. Read the 30th chapter of Jeremiah. So we got through that. It's not gonna be real long. You know, I'm shortening up the videos, but I'm trying to show you why Trump, the Democrat and the Republicans and MAGA is all working together against us. And so again, we have here this young, look down in the bottom left hand corner, the young man with the earphones on his ear, and he made this video about the cartel being the government in Mexico, and right here he has a banner saying the cartel is stealing crude oil from Mexico because they can't get they make billions of dollars sending illegals into this country. That way Mexico don't have to provide for them. We provide for them. And they are white people. They are Edomites. I don't care what General Yohana or Nate or any of your other groups say. You can't tell me those people are not the terror. You can't tell me that. I won't believe it. A lot of us other people won't believe it because you are ignoring the fact that we have Afro Mexicans in Mexico. We have Afro Cubans in Cuba. We have the Dominican Republican that the 700 Club and all you people say they are white. And Hades is black. The Dominican, no, but we went and we sent cameras over there and we saw that those people are different shades of brown, copper tone. And if you want to see a Negro mulatto, go to Dominican Republic. Not these Spaniards here. Not these Spaniards who the cartel is sending across the border. Okay? Every nation in South America, again, they have their support. They have their family. The Edomite government has family down there, and they don't mingle or marry the Afro people on the land, right? They know who they are, and they are not all Judah. They are Northern Kingdom. It's over 150 million black people in South America and down through Central America and the islands, and it's over 100 million. I counted. I counted through Google and the demographic study, 300 million. But they always lower the number. But some other group who don't want to admit that, is more black people down there than it is up here. They admit that, but they won't admit the number of people because they don't want to admit how we outnumber them on this earth. We are like the sands of the sea. So they say 100 million. I'll say what we counted on all the islands. Me and Google and FBI charts counted 300 million black people, all different shades, down Central and South America. But the reason why I'm showing you this video, I'm showing you the common knowledge of how governments and lands are supposed to be established and looked at. How we should look at this. This man is going to say it out of his own mouth when he talks about the cartel making themselves government over the Mexican people down below our border. They draw lines and make border walls and stuff. But the cartel are the government there. And he's going to tell you out of his own mouth why that's wrong. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen. So this
this cartel, which Mexico says is America's problem, by the way, look at what they're doing in Mexico that nobody's talking about. Here you've got a state-owned oil company, which should exist for the benefit of Mexico itself. And what are these guys doing? They're stealing the oil and selling it on the black market to criminals. And why are they doing this? Well, the U.S. border is closed. Their smuggling business, bringing illegal immigrants into our country, isn't what it used to be. And since everything these guys have to do to survive must be criminal, that's one of their requirements, now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted for them or elected them, but is totally defenseless in the face of their tyranny.
Mexican president, she's...
Okay. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Let's listen to it one more time.
It's one of their requirements. Now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted for them or elected them, but is totally defenseless in the face of their tyranny.
Mexican president, she's...
Okay. One more time. Y'all don't think y'all got that, man. This common citizen understands how governments are established. Okay, let's listen one more time. Then.
Well, that's one of their requirements. Now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted for them or elected them, but is
controlling an entire country who never voted.
Must be criminal. That's one of their requirements. Now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted.
Controlling an entire country who never voted for them, and they are plundering them because they have power to do so. Who does that sound like? This man says that's wrong. He's just a common American citizen. He knows that that's wrong. He knows that that's wrong for a group of people with guns to come in and take control of a nation of people and call themselves government over them and force them to follow their imaginary laws and not godly laws. And eventually the people will begin to say, hey, that's the law of the land. Those are our governments. We got to do what they say. They look out for us. Eventually. And that's what happened to the American people, man. That's what happened to the American people, and also especially the black people, the people they call black. Feeble, worth nothing, have not an we don't have ancestors. Forget your ancestors, forget about all of that. You know, we've been here over hundreds of years. We fought for this land. No, you fought to be rulers over God's chosen people. You are the servant of Lucifer, the spiritual demon, and who calls himself the light bearer, and you are his subjects, and his prophecy that he would rule over the congregation of the Lord in the land of the north, and that's happening right now. And what I want to get our people to see, so once we free our minds to realize that these laws that they make are not God ordained. God has a group of laws. Peace and Friendship Treaty, the Constitution, the rights of indigenous people, human rights, and what's the other one? And the treaties that this United States corporation came over here and promised whenever they got in battle with a group of Northern Kingdom Indians, they made over 400 treaties, man. Now you're going to tell me God had 400 different tribes all across this land that they had to make treaties with? If it was just Gad and Issachar and the Seminole Indians, that would be 3 national treaties that they would make. That's all. And then Gad would have brought all of their delegates to the powwow or wherever It was in 1700, in the 1800s. So we were civilized. We've always been civilized. So if we're going to make a treaty, if the United States is going to make a treaty to bring peace, they make it with the leaders of the people on the land. So it wouldn't be 400 different treaties, because that's 400 different families. That's 400 different families. That would almost cover America. 400 different tribes that have been here over 1,500 years. They've been here over 1,500 years. Around the 1700s, the Northern Kingdom had been here since before after the Syrian captivity, before the Babylonian captivity. So they had been here. They have been regenerating for almost 1,700 years. We've been here 500 years, and we have 70 million here and 300 million down south of the Mexican border. 300 million people, black and brown people down there. They said, well, now they're trying to say, well, the slavers brought most of the people from Africa. They took them down to. They couldn't give you the real number. That's another reason they couldn't give you the real number of the population down there, black, who they call black, but is the Northern Kingdom of Israel. They couldn't give you the real number because they said they brought hundreds of millions of people from Africa, and then they tried to say that no, there's no way. We figured it out. The boats wasn't big enough. They couldn't make enough trips in 500 years, bringing like 150 slaves over here. They said we brought 700, but we lost a lot of them. And then they tweaked it again because we went out and found out that wasn't possible. They couldn't bring 700. They did have a bunch of boats. So they had 7 boats, which we know they didn't, and they brought 100 apiece. It take, let's see, it would take two months. Let's say 2 months to get here, and 2 months to get back. 3 months. Let's say 3 months. 4 and 4 is 8. Let's say take 3. Let's say 2 months on those sailboats. It take 2 months to get here, 2 months to get back, and then they would wait over there and gather up slaves. I got to go figure that out. It's on one of my other videos again. But anyway, they was only going to get 3. They was only going to make 3 shipments over here a year. 3 shipments a year at 700 a trip. 700 a trip, maybe 1,000 a trip. Could not get over 40, maybe 3 or 4 million. They said 12 million. Then they broke. That's right. Then they broke it down. After we did the math, they broke it down. Well, we only got 12 million over here. You know, we started off with 13, 15 or something. They lost 20% of their cargo on every trip. They lost 20% of their cargo. If you know they're gonna die and you're gonna lose 20% of your cargo, why would you put them in the ship? You wouldn't. You save them for next time. So they didn't. I don't think they lost 20% or 10%. I think they kept tweaking it and just brought them as many as they knew they could get across safely. But they couldn't do that. They had to beef the numbers up. But what they were trying to do is say they brought us over here, and there wasn't that many of us over here. We were in South America. That way they could become more owners. Their ownership become more solidified and a greater percentage of ownership in North America. But I wanted to show you that these people, the common citizen, like that man we just showed you, knows that People have to vote for their governors. Let's watch it again.
What it used to be, and since everything these guys have to do to survive must be criminal, that's one of their requirements, now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted for them or elected them, but is taught. Why are they doing this? Well, the U.S. border is closed. Their smuggling business, bringing illegal immigrants into our country, isn't what it used to be. And since everything these guys have to do to survive must be criminal, that's one of their requirements, now they're just plundering.
I like that part too. Everything these people do, these terrorists, when they come in to take over your country, when they come in to occupy you, everything they do is illegal. Everything. He's giving you a scenario of the United States and any terrorists. The United States are terrorists. When they came here, we didn't invite them. They came in as terrorists. Columbus said he never put his sword down. He said wherever he went and landed, he took slaves with him back to Europe. Why would they take slaves to Europe? They had Africans there. Why would they take slaves back to Africa and where they was taking them away from Africa? They could have took those slaves right to Europe. I mean, of course, they might have took people to do the cargo. They might have took natives from over here to load the ships. They didn't have nothing to bring over here but people. That was the cargo. Why would they need African? Why would they need natives from here to go load Africans from there? That don't make sense. They didn't need servants over there. They were coming here. This was the new land. The white people were getting out of that land. They were sending their servants, which were white people, white slaves. Rich people had white slaves. They were sending them here to build this country up for them when they came from there, which was a dying country, a dying land. They were sending them over here to prepare the road for them to come over here. And then when they could capture enough Northern American Indians or ship enough Judites over here, they used black people for slavery. Okay? And almost every white family had 2 or 3 servants to do their gardening and to do their cooking, to do their cleaning. They had slaves. 12 million. They brought 12 million over here. And as they established their home front, they used slaves. So we're gonna get off here, but I just wanted to show you that they realize that when you take over a country, when you take over a group of people, you are doing everything illegal. Everything you do is illegal.
U.S. border is closed. Their smuggling business, bringing illegal immigrants into our country, isn't what it used to be. And since everything these guys have to do to survive must be criminal, that's one of their requirements, now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted for them or elected them, but is totally defenseless in the...
I like that part too. Let's watch.
Must be criminal. That's one of their requirements. Now they're just plundering their own people. Something they've been doing for a long time, controlling an entire country who never voted for them or elected them, but is totally defenseless in the face of their tyranny.
President.
Totally defenseless in the face of their tyranny, right? Totally defenseless in the face of their tyranny. All praises to the Most High. They know. They know right and wrong, right? They know. They know the United States has us in captivity. Let me finish right there. The United States has us in captivity right now, and they know it. They occupy us, although we're not in chains. The Most High still have to deliver us, but He expects us to gather up and to come out of America. Stop her customs. How do we do that without making enemies? He knows that. He knows we're making enemies. He knows they're going to set up to destroy us. So what I'm telling you, who are you going to believe? The devil who said we're going to destroy you if you stop voting? If you stop voting, we're going to destroy you. If you stop complying to our laws and our police, we're going to show you, we're going to destroy you. We're not going to let you go. And that in Job, where the devil, he opened not his house, he opened not his doors, he opened not the doors of his captive. He's not going to let you go. So therefore, we got to trust in the Most High to protect us as we leave that jurisdiction. And the Most High knows what's going to happen. When we gather up, just like those people gathered up in the streets in Washington, D.C. to protest, when we gather up in protest that we are keeping God's laws and we're not under their jurisdiction anymore, and we know that they are tyrants. We know that everything that they're doing in this country as a government is illegal toward us, and they are holding us captive. They can't say we're free anymore. They are who their fathers are. They are who their fathers are. We are still in their hands, and we're trusting in God to deliver us from their hands. That's when the Most High is going to stand up and fight for us. And they're going to see such a great number that fear is going to take them and they're going to back off of us. Now, you don't have to believe it, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. The Most High wouldn't have put us out there to be sitting ducks. He wouldn't have told us to gather up to be sitting ducks. He's not going to let them put us back in slavery, and that's what they're doing when they put the National Guards out on the streets. They're forcing us back into submission to them. And we have no life to live if they do that. We have to stand right now, gather together, and declare our nationality as a one great whole people. See, the reason why divided you fall, united you stand, divided you fall, united you stand, divided you fall. The reason why they got us in captivity is because we will not unite. They keep us divided. They keep us divided. And once they see us uniting in our thinking, they see that now. That's why Trump said, let's get some more tyranny out on the streets. We got to keep these people separating their mind, keep that fear on them, because if not, they are going to unite and never vote again for us. They're never going to consent to us governing them again. And that will be the end of us. Our laws will no longer be our strength. When these feeble-minded people wake up and realize that they are humans, and we can't charge them and look at them as a thing, a dead thing, an inhumane thing anymore. We have to treat them like humans and like the gods of the earth that they were created to be. So that's what's happening. I hope you all get something out of this. We got to start thinking right, man. If not, they're not going to destroy us. We're going to think right. It's going to happen. The prophecy is going to happen regardless if you 2/3 or you scared niggas, Israelites, don't go back home. Stay at home. But don't go out to these protests. These protests do not go out because you are consenting to them being government. I don't care how many Edomites go out on the streets and protest Trump and say let them get rid of him, because it's going to be in their favor if they do. If they stop that government from governing them, they will be free too. Look at these politicians sitting up here. They are not for that poor man issues on that video, controlling that podcast. They're not for him. He works for them. The people, their people are their subjects. So all praises to the Most High.